Okay, so after 9 months of first buying the TT-02 and of just over 6 months of racing it, I've decided to retire this GR86 body that came with it, mainly because purely just to protect it, and there are also a few things I didn't take into account. There was a bit of tape I should have really put at the front to help secure it together, but as you can see, yeah, and you can also see some of the paint chipping off. It was just, it was first hydro dipped, and then I just first spray painted it with whatever paint I had kicking about. And also there were some headlight decals that one I super glued in and another I hot glued in, but both of them fell out during racing, so as you can probably tell, it's not quite the most presentable. So I've just decided to retire this body purely just for its own protection, and I'm going to be replacing it with... I should have really put it down beside me, but yeah, so I've got a Nissan 350Z body from HPI, and this is what I'm going to be using, in case you haven't actually, just in case anyone is new to the channel, this is what I had the GR86 body on. But even though I've decided to retire this thing from racing, I am still going to hang on to it, purely just because of the sentimental value, and also just for, like, a leisure kind of thing. Like, maybe just if I'm going out somewhere and I just want to, if there's a nice place, I just want to drive the car just for fun. But the main reason why I've decided to retire this from racing is because I just haven't been a fan of the direction control I've been getting, even with the upgrades in place, and I'm having to constantly spend money on this thing to get it going. There is something else I have got in favour for racing, but that will be for another video. Anyway, back to this. So instead of hydro dipping like I did with my previous body for racing, I'm actually going to be going on something along the lines of a Jackson Pollock style body. So what that will basically consist of is just basically dribbling a lot of paint and whacking a paintbrush onto it, and then filling the rest with white spray paints. But you'll get the gist of it further into the video, but for now, actually I did pre-open it, but there you have it. So this is what I'm going to be using for my TT-02 moving forwards, and you probably may be able to tell I have already drilled the holes in, and let me just put this on the TT-02 to see how it just currently looks. Right, so the first thing I should point out was this wasn't really, of course, designed for the TT-02. You could probably see where the hole guides are here at the front and around the back here. It was more designed for pro-grade touring cars. But what I did was I just used a wood drill bit with a pointy end, and around the front, it actually did it. I actually managed to do it pretty fine, despite the grooves on the front. However, on the back, you could probably just about make it where I cocked it up. I did mark it down, but from that side, the drill slipped just slightly. I may have been a bit too fast on it. However, this one I went with much slower, and went on that end much better. But the other thing I also had to do to adapt this was I actually had to have the body poles at the front. So they were round the back, however I switched them to the front. And the reason I did that was because it would mean having to drill through this side. It could make the body clips difficult to put on. Anyway, so the first thing I also need to do with this is to get the thing prepped for painting. So that will mean cutting out the plastic bits, and there's also the plastic extra bit of... I'm a bit slow today. It's the summer, I'm kind of starting to get a little bit of a heat stroke. So we've got our window masks here. Yeah, let's just jump into that. Okay, I just wanted to put the body on the chassis just to see how it looks, but I didn't quite take the window masks into account, so I'm just going to put that aside. Also, you may probably notice as well, since I'm not actually racing with this, and that's actually partially the reason why I'm retiring this, because it's just the amount of money I have to keep spending on this thing. So I've got the servo engine help with mammoth tape, so it should be fine for nothing serious. I'm not club racing with that or championship racing. Now the window masks are on, however the ones I didn't put on were these ones, which are for the headlights. I'm not going to do that because I did have, actually they're in the bag somewhere. Let's see if I can get them out somewhere. I just drop them on the floor. They are these, yeah, so I'm not going to be using these because these are exactly what were on the GR86 body, and as you can see they are pretty much non-existent now. I do not know where they've gone, but yeah, so the stickers that I'm actually going to be using are these. I just kind of whipped the camera a little bit. So those are the stickers I'm going to be using instead of these, and obviously these. So with the body prepped for painting, let's move on to the next step. Okay, to start off with, I found this set of acrylic paints on Amazon, and there's quite a few colours to choose from. I wasn't quite sure. I was thinking, do I go for one single colour for this kind of thing? But actually, I want to try and do a bit of a good old red, green and blue. So, got the green and red. A bit conflicted of which shade of blue to go for, because this shade of blue I wish was a bit more vibrant. And this shade of blue I've already used. Actually, thinking about it, I've just put it up there on the band sort of for now. Pretty much the same shade. Because I'm conflicted, I'm just going to use both. So, this I'm going to use for now, just as a little experimental thing. The body is here on the floor, and I'll document what I'm going to be doing just as it happens, I guess. Okay, this could be interesting because the paint is actually thicker than I thought it was. I was hoping it would be a bit more runnier than what I've got. So, I'm going to try it off with this colour. Yeah, I kind of had to figure out where I was going to... So I'm not really going to do anything... Actually, that splodge of... So this is... It's kind of just... Maybe if I just whack it a little bit so it's like... Missed. That was on the window mask. That's okay. We're getting somewhere. Another bit on the mask. Okay, so that's. I think I might have to try and find a way if there's a way of making the paint just that little bit runnier. I'm not 100% sure if water and paint will work, but let me just check. Okay, I forgot to turn the camera on for this little bit, but I just thinned the little paint. It is... You know, I got an old McDonald's drawer that I didn't even bother to... Oh, that's better. Ready? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Let's try one more at the back here. Much better. Just a few more. Don't want to use too much blue because I want to make room for the other colours. Try a bit on the sides. Actually, I'll have to try. I nearly splodged a bit of paint on. Yes, yes, brilliant. Let's I'm going to try thinning the paint just a bit more. So I thinned it probably a lot thinner than I probably should have done, but I'm going to try and just dribble it on and see what happens and what becomes of this. Oh God, no! Hang on. Help! This might have been a bad decision. Pulled out just a little bit because God knows what's going to come of this. So we're going to try a little bit of red now, and going to just flick the brush. Just there we go. Also, the paint came out a bit funny when I tried to get it out of the tube. So okay, we're getting somewhere with the red. I'm starting to. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. I'll probably have to get a glove and just hang it on. What am I even saying? I'm just basically making incomprehensible gibberish at this point. Right, let's just put the paint there. Let's hold the body like that so I don't fling any paint onto anything other than this. Actually, I think I don't need to worry too much because I think the paint splodges are actually fine enough on though as it is. I don't have to worry about anything running. But yeah, getting somewhere. Just a big ladder. There we go. Probably going to try scooping it with the brush and flinging it on. Right, scoop and flick. Alright, scoop and flick. There we go. Uh-oh. I just mixed a little bit of the blue in with the red. So, trying to flick it more onto that sheet there. There we are. So, not a lot of red on the roof. I'll change that, or at least try to. Okay, I think. Actually, that's not quite enough. I'll try scooping up a little bit, and then. Yeah. So. Paint is starting to get a little bit darker because I accidentally mixed it up with a bit of blue. Scoop a bit lower then. I tell you what, I really can't wait to see what is going to become of this. I really can't. Let's try. There's quite a little bit of red. I want to try and scoop that up. So, okay.
Yeah,
well, I don't have to cover the whole. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to.
you don't want any gaps, though, do you?
I'm going to. Where's the? I'm going to fill in the rest with this.
Ah, but is that a solvent-based paint?
It's all-purpose spray paint for interior. Used metal, plastic.
Yeah, I know, but how will it mix with that?
I'm going to leave that to dry first.
Right. Okay.
But also, you were saying because I was going to use this blue, but you said that yellow would look good, didn't you?
I think yellow look amazing.
I think should I try all the primary colours? So I got green. So I've gone blue. I've done red.
It needs a bit more. It needs a bit more. I think, sort of up here, doesn't it?
I've tried.
Can you do it like that? Can you sort of? Can you flick it? Don't worry.
The trouble is, it flings on everything. That's why I'm doing it like that. So it's. Oh God. Alright, so I don't exactly know how much of that captured because the battery died, and it tends to be difficult to recover the videos from the camera because when it dies while recording, it doesn't tend to write the file properly. So hopefully I can recover that footage from the green, but just in case I can't, this is what has become of it. So the final colour, I was going to do that lighter shade of blue, but Dad insisted that I tried yellow, so that's all the primary colours together. And let's give this a try. So just a little splat of yellow here on the front. It's quite a nice blob there. So also the paint tends to come out a bit funny at times through the bottles. Like I have to take the lid off. It's like through a squeezy tube. But unfortunately with that, it tends to come out with a lot of air bubbles. So we'll just see what comes out of this. Maybe I'll just...
No. I'll take mine to go. Just make it simple. Get 25% of cotton faces with qualifying products to compare the market.
There's quite a few. I'll be back in a bit. I'll just go and make that just a little bit runnier. Okay, give it a little bit of more water. Let's see. Now we're getting somewhere. The green actually is coming out. It came out really well. I think the trick to that was I used hot water, which must have had an impact on the shape or form. Let's try more on the back there. Yes. There's quite a lot of rhythm. Let's try that a bit more.
Seeing stars.
There we are. Try it upright just a little bit.
Yes, go on, Tom, got this. You can't see your son anymore now. Long live the king. Good boy. Look for the massive. The massive is over. There is money hanging down.
Oh, that's actually looking really good to the side. Just try.
I'm sure it's lovely. I'm just killing it with this. Lovely face in this tummy.
You know what? Because I don't want to go too crazy with this. I think that'll do. So that's 4 colours on there. Actually, I'll just turn down the TV so you can just hear me a bit better, just in case. So anyway, we got trying to let the paintbrush touch the top work there. There we are. So, there we have it. So, that's the results so far. Kind of want to turn it upside down just to allow some of the paint yellow to spread out just a little bit more. But let's see what it looks like so far. Okay. Well, there is a bit of... hang on a minute. Right, so I decided to bring it up at table height so you can see it a lot better, and I just put it on a bit of cardboard that my dad's just brought along. But overall, so far, amazing. It wasn't quite an envision I had in my head in terms of how it was going to look. Well, to be fair, neither was that one, but I'm impressed at what I have created. So just flip that round. The yellow is showing a lot more than I actually thought it would, and the blue is there's not really a lot of blue, just about make out some of it. Now the thing I need to do is I'm going to put this in the airing cupboard to dry, because it tends to get a bit cold out here and there's a lot of warmth in there. But once that's dry, I'm going to fill the rest in with this stuff, just some generic white paints. Then once that's dry, I'm going to spray it with clear coat, a form of liqueur, which is what I have actually done to spray that rustler body up there, and normally paint chips off. I've got Tamiya paint on my plasma motor too, and that's been chipping off, but when I put that stuff on, it's protected it really well, so definitely going to be using that for this. But for now, let's get this thing into the airing cupboard. Okay, so it's been the morning after I did it last night, and it has kind of dried. There is quite a bit of residue, and it is quite thick in some places. I'll have to see. I'm kind of conflicted. Do I attempt to flatten that, or should I just leave it as it is? I mean, it's the underneath, so most people probably aren't even going to be seeing it anyway. But anyway, I'm conflicted on whether or not to spray it at the moment because it's raining outside, and under the only bit of shelter that we've got in the garden, there's some clothes drying on a frame. But overall, actually really happy with it so far. But let's cut to the next phase. Right, so I just about got it underneath. I've got it quite away from the clothes which are here. So the next step is just got a can of generic white paint. So basically just to fill in the clear bits that the paint obviously didn't get to. So let's just kind of to mask it a little bit. I'm blowing in this direction a little bit. Hang on, I'll test that. I just want to see how it looks from the. Oh, that's. So I think that's good for now. I won't bother filming the next coat. I'll probably just wait for the wind to die down for a little bit. But there's the first coat done, and yeah, I'll see you in the next step. Okay, final step before I can remove the window masks and the protective outer cover. So. Gonna give it a few coats of this stuff, the clear coat lacquer, or lacquer, depending how you pronounce it, I guess. So gonna spray the first coat. I'll just film one coat, and then I'll probably do about 4 or 5 for this one, because I did 5 on the rustler body, and it's been working fine. So let's just. I did give it a good shake prior to hitting the record button. So here comes the first coat. Give it. Ooh. Alright, so gonna leave that first coat to dry. We'll go over it a couple more times, well, a few more times actually, just to be safe. But yeah, the next thing you'll see this will be back in the garage, and hopefully we'll be able to get the window stickers off. Okay, so got it in the airing cupboard at the moment just to let it dry a lot quicker, and it's actually quite warm in there. It's like, thankfully. Actually, it's starting to dry. So, yeah, interesting. I think I'll probably just leave it into the dry just for the night, just to play it safe, because it's not completely dry, but I don't really fancy my chances in terms of taking it off. Actually, I might be able to just take the cover off. Let's just see how that looks. So there is a... Is it actually recording? Because I can't do it. There. Right, that was a bit difficult, but I did manage to find an edge of the cover on the outside of the body. So I just kind of got a bit on focus of the camera. But this is pretty much the moment of truth. What has the final results pretty much look like? Oh wow. There's a few bits. Oh wow. The back. Just a little bit there. So, just put it around the places. That's amazing. That's absolutely brilliant. It's quite a bit of paint that we get on the outer body in the end, as it turns out. But just bring the camera up a little bit so you can just see it better. But oh my lord, that's beautiful. So that's the body protection off. I'm not going to take the window masks just yet. I'm not going to take the window masks off just yet. I'll be doing that in the morning, and we'll roll on to then. Alright, so here we are at the moment. So I've got the window masks off. I did need to do a bit of cleaning around the sides. There was a lot more paint there and there around the back, which is weird. For plastic window mask, I would have thought would have protected it a bit better than that. Anyway, so here we have the body pretty much painted. All that's left to do is just the stickers and the spoiler just right there. Now I'm not going to be using this camera to do the time lapse of this process, mainly because I need to really clear up some space on this thing, even though it's got a 256 gigabyte card in it. And instead I'm going to be time-lapsing with the Osmo Action, because with this camera that I'm filming right now, which is the M50 Mark II, it only time-lapses in a limited period, whereas this, I don't have to worry about it just stopping all of a sudden. And also, because of the camera intended to die and not writing the file, that's another reason to do so. So, got the stickers at the ready. I want to try the headlight stickers on because I just want to see how it looks. Got the guide here and some Kinder chocolate just on hand. So let's do this.
Hey yo, Dave, done this shit.
Okay, so you'll notice it's gone pitch black in the garage because I've actually been putting the body on with the lights off, and I wanted to capture the reaction for seeing it on the TT-02 for the first time. So I put the body on the TT-02 with the lights completely off, just because I wanted to be a massive surprise. Okay, so here we go. This is the first time that I've seen it. Focus, focus. Oh! Hello! That's brilliant. That's really, really, really looks absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love it. So there's just one thing pretty much left to do, and that's just to trim these bits off. I'll show an example. I did this similar methods for the Plasma Edge, but for those who didn't see that, I'm going to be showing you exactly how I trim these body poles. Okay, so the way I go about trimming these body poles is just basically using a pair of top cutter pliers and do certain segments individually. So clamp it like that very gently, put a little bit of pressure on it but not too much. Actually, I think I may have got a bit down too low on that one, so just bring that back up. Actually, let's try it from the side. So I've done this before with no issues. Let's try putting a bit of... there we go. So I did need to put a bit of pressure. So that's one part of the trimming's done. And I'm going to just speed up this process bit, otherwise so it's going to be too long of a watch. Okay, so that's that. Just need to trim these little bits at the front first. Okay, I don't know why I finished off that sentence with first, because it's not like I was going to be doing anything in particular after that. So, thought I'd get it a bit close up as well, so you can just see the process. So just push it down a little bit. Actually, widen up the jaws. So that's... and then close, bring that up just a little bit. And just... not so much pressure this time round. I put my hands in the way. That just flung off. Good thing I got my eye protection on for this. So, last one, just put it down just a little bit slightly. That's a bit too close. Push it, pull it back up, and then put it back down. Do I risk it and trim that little bit off? Do I? Bit conflicted. Let's just... probably have to file that down, but I think that's as good as I'm going to get. So there we have it. I tell you what, I'm in desperate need of a hair transplant, or at least a good quality wig, because I absolutely hate the way I look. Anyway, as for this, it wasn't quite how I was expecting it to come out. I think mainly had to do with this bit at the front, because I put too much water in these paints, which are behind me. Get them out. So they worked a lot better in some places than I was hoping for, but I'm not going to be putting so much water in this. There are a little bit of thick blobs that still do remain, but this, as you can see on the side, that is what I was trying to get more of around the overall body, but it actually doesn't look too bad. Actually, it does look really good around the back here. So this was more of like the kind of thing I'm going for, and I'll just tap the screen to focus it so you can just see it better. But that's around the back, and that on the side was what I was hoping to go for. But considering this was my very first attempt at doing a Jackson Pollock style piece of art, let alone on a radio control body, but just in general, I'm very happy with the end result. And this I'm definitely going to be showing off, because I'm retiring the TT-02. I might use it for drifting. I might put some drift wheels on it and see how it works as a drift car. But this is going to be more of sort of a leisure and exhibitional fun. So I'll be taking it to a charity event while I'm away at Birmingham, because some people are going to be bringing their radio control stuff over. So yeah, I'm going to be bringing this with me. And this isn't going to be the only time I'll be doing this, because I'm going to be building a M07 very soon. I've got a body to go with it, and I will definitely be doing this again for that body, for the M07. But however, I'm thinking of going for just blue, red and purple, because those are three colours that go hand in hand together in my life. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. Really happy with this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in whatever next week's video may be. Hopefully the M07 build. I'll see you then.